So, this Thursday, you guys will see a video of Tedward and myself comparing his M3, which we're in right now, and my S4. But right now, I kind of wanted to talk about DCT versus DSG. Now, you haven't driven my car yet, so we can't chime in too much.
I have driven your car.
You have?
I have.
When did you drive my car?
Before you put the intake on, right when you got it.
Oh, right when okay, all right. So obviously Tom's car is DCT, my car is DSG. They're both dual clutch automatics. They're both very good at what they do. The main difference is you don't get DSG farts.
Truth.
That's the only difference between the two. There's no more different. That's the end of the video. Something that's kind of interesting about the difference between the two is you can change your shift modes.
Correct.
So if I'm down in the first shift mode, is this how I do it?
Yep.
So if I go down to the first shift mode, is it gonna shift like real slow and baby E?
Kind of. It's a little more laggy. It's a little more gentle. It'll slip the clutch a little more.
So if I let off and set off in first gear, rather. Off in first gear here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can. It doesn't quite go into the next gear.
Doesn't give you that hit.
Now, if I went full throttle in that mode, would it still do that?
Yeah, to an extent. It's just a little more delayed, and it doesn't have the punch. I think what it is, it's the clamping force of the clutch hitting flywheel.
Okay.
Is not as aggressive.
Gotcha. My car, the car chooses when to do that. Some upshifts it'll do the DSG fart, other upshifts it'll just let the clutch kind of settle in. It's a little different, and it's kind of interesting that BMW allows you to change the modes and Audi doesn't. If I get on it here, we're gonna spin, but yeah, it's just next gear, bang, gives you a little kick in the butt.
And you're in mode 5 right now. If you turn traction all the way off, which we're not gonna do, it will give you a 6th mode. And that, it's too aggressive because if you ever made an upshift or a downshift kind of mid-corner or what, it'll snap the tail.
Gotcha.
So it's like a little too aggressive. I tend to drive it in either mode 4 or 5 because then it's hard, but it's gentle enough to not be snapping the tail out.
Okay.
And it also is, if you're gonna do launch control, you have to be in that 6th mode or else launch control won't engage.
Now, does launch control have traction control on or off?
Off.
Okay.
So it's just a burnout mode, which is why actually the Brentune launch control, instead of holding it at like 5,000 RPM, I think it holds it around 3,500 RPM.
Interesting.
So it actually lets it bog down, get traction, and then go.
Now that's interesting because with SMG, at least with the E60 M5, it would launch it at like 1,900 RPMs in US mode, and European launch control gets you like 4,500 RPMs.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they did that the other way around.
Yeah.
I do think yours is a little more responsive to the paddles than mine is.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's like, I feel like DSG is more of like the daily driver's version of a dual clutch transmission. It's really good, it's really fast, but it's also really forgiving. And it also gives you a creep mode. Like when you let off the brake in a DSG, you start moving, just like an automatic.
It's not great for the clutch, but yeah, it'll start moving. This won't creep?
It won't creep.
Okay.
So when you're stopped, the second it disengages, now you have to tell it that you want to go.
All right, so now we'll go hop in my car and we'll get your thoughts on the DSG while driving DSG.
Yeah.
See you in a second. All right, now we're in my car. Tom's driving. DSG fart time. Oh, it didn't do it.
Here it is.
If you hit the kickdown switch, it engages your maximum acceleration mode, which I think you can only engage from first gear. But that'll give you more M3-like shifts. Where it doesn't fart, it just goes for the next gear.
I think this is a little more like...
Oh, you're in sport, you're not in manual.
Whoops. Well, either way, I was using the paddles. But I think it's a little more like daily driver friendly.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit quite as hard. You don't get the ka-dunk that you get out of a DCT. But it works, and I don't feel, I mean, it's doing what I'm asking it to do. There's a hint of a delay, which on track would probably drive me bonkers.
And I think they can tune that out with a DSG tune. I think it'll make it a little bit more responsive with the DSG tune. Yeah. Daily driver wise, this is a little bit smoother. It seems a little bit more friendly on the transmission too. It's not trying to kill itself. The BMW, your car, if you left it in the highest shift mode, would be content to kill itself.
Oh, it'll grenade, yeah, for sure.
There's also more of an instantaneous upshift. Now, if I get a DSG tune, it'll make the shifts faster. But right now, when you get up high and you're not in that maximum acceleration mode where it's just bang next gear, it does take a second when the DSG fart goes to kind of settle in and make sure that upshift's really smooth.
Yeah, no, it's really supple.
Upshift or downshift, there's no kick motion like we talked about.
And as much as all of you probably think, I want the rawest, nastiest, most aggressive driving experience that the automotive world has to offer, I daily drive that M3 and sometimes that transmission drives me bonkers. And there's something to be said for a smooth shift.
Both transmissions really good. Yours is obviously, I mean, it's an M3 versus an S4. M3 is much more track oriented.
Yeah.
It's more of a, it's supposed to be more of a driver's car instead of like a sporty consumer's car.
Agreed.
Sorry if you get butthurt by that comment. All the people watching, but you know, that's just kind of how it is.
Wait, there's a rivalry between BMW people and Audi people?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
They're always so nice to me.
Hey, don't forget to use your indicator. Anyway, I hope you guys.
This thing do?
I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
It's blinking.
What is happening?
There's a green,
3 times.
It's a green thing blinking at me.
All right. Well, we've successfully ruined Tom. He's used his indicator. That means he's no longer a BMW driver. BMW CCA is going to take away your membership.
Are they going to reduce my insurance now that I know what that means? Did I just
maybe
get a waiver?
Send this video to your. Don't send this video to your insurance company. Never mind. Make sure to check out Tedward's channel. It'll be at the top of the description. Take it easy. Go out there and spread some positivity. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Sweet.